Hey guys, what's up? Cardfight here, and today I'm here with an updated meta video. This is update for the March 2017 meta. I guess it's April soon. So anyway, uh, these are the main decks you will see up there. This I call these the big three. You will see some other decks top occasionally, but it's less likely or less. You see them less. So these ones you see almost all the time. You know, in the top 10 you'll see at least like you'll probably see all three, and then depending on what kind of tournament you're seeing, you'll probably see like 4 Lords and then maybe 2 Gear Chronicle and 2 Night Rose or something like that. Those aren't the exact numbers. I'm just quoting something off the top of my head. But I think like the most recent championships in Japan, the first place was 7 Seas. And there's the second and third place were Gear Chronicle, and then fourth was another Grand Blue deck. I think it was Night Rose. Yeah, it's a Night Rose deck. And then for the top 8, it was just Shadow Paladins all across. So yeah, for that tournament in particular, there wasn't anything else. But even if you look at some other tournaments, you'll mainly see Shadows and Gears and Grand Blue. So anyway, that's the point I'm trying to say is these 3 clans are very prominent in the game right now. I'm not saying you don't have a chance if you use the other decks, but just be if you go to a tournament in Asia at least, be prepared to get matched up with a lot of these decks. I think even for America, these are probably the decks that are most consistent. So I'll go through each of the decks and give you my opinion on them. So Grand Blue, with the introduction of the 7 Seas support and the Night Rose support, Grand Blue has become a very, very powerful clan. They were kind of a joke, quote unquote joke, when it was back when it was still using Kokaidens and whatnot. You wouldn't see, Night Rose topping during the, or not Night Rose. You wouldn't see Grand Blue topping during the Raging Form and Chaos Breaker era, but the very first Chaos Breaker Raging Form era, not the resurgence. Even then, Raging Form didn't really resurge, but Chaos was definitely something that came back. But anyway, getting off topic here. So the main reason why I think Night Rose or Grand Blue is so consistent is because for the 7 Seas Rush, even though the card got hit, players are still finding other ways to just dump their drop zone into dump their deck into the drop zone. So then they have a lot of stuff to dual box for. So the deck overall is still pretty consistent and very fast. So there's that. And Night Rose does this also to a certain extent. It's a little slower, but in my opinion, if your opponent drags on the game more, Night Rose works a little better than 7 Seas. So if you want to play a really strong early game, then go for 7 Seas. And if you want to have a stronger late game, go for Night Rose, I guess. But they pretty much just take advantage of their drop zone and then toolbox for whatever they want. So it's very powerful, very consistent. Yeah, they also hit for pretty decent numbers, so that's also very good. And they can chain attack a lot too, so that's also a plus. So yeah, Grand Blue. Next, Gear Chronicle. Gear Chronicle, they've been in the meta for quite a while now too. Pretty much ever since Time Leap was a thing, I guess. I'm trying to think. Before that, I guess before that they weren't really as big. Yeah, I think it was like after Next Age came. A lot of Gear Chronicle decks started topping. And even now, the deck is still topping because the engine is pretty much the same. What's actually funny is, except for the addition of the Chrono Jet Dragon G, the deck hasn't really changed too much even after the hit. You still have your Melons and History Makers and whatnot. So the combo for those decks have been similar for the most part, and the support they get in the newer boosters hasn't really affected the deck too much, especially the Zodiac Time Beast stuff. So yeah, I mean you'll see occasionally some people running Chrono Fang Tigers and Gear Groovies and the Chrono Dragon G's and whatnot, but yeah, for the most part the deck hasn't really changed much. I'm guessing if Bushiroad keeps just printing support for Zodiac Time Beast and not care about Time Leap, then the deck really won't go anywhere else, since, you know, as I said before, the deck is still mainly running the decks at top at least are still running the Time Leap engine, and it feels like right now Bushiroad is mainly focusing on Zodiac Time Beasts. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe if they make some more support for Time Leap later on, then the deck will still be topping for many more metas. But yeah, so Gear Chronicle is another deck with a very powerful toolboxing. Time Leap is honestly probably one of the best keywords in this game. Actually, yeah, it probably is the best keyword in the game. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that is better than Time Leaping. Because Time Leaping, it's just a mechanic that helps you toolbox, so it's good. And not only does it help you toolbox, but it also helps you get extra attacks in if you're doing it during the battle phase, so that's also very good. And yeah, basically Gear Chronicle is just a deck that has pretty much everything. It has control. You have this thing on your opponent's turn, so you can get rid of their units, and then you have your own rewind mechanics to change your opponent's field during your turn. And then yeah, it's got a bit of everything, and it's got pretty decent power. Yeah, and it's the same with the Night Rose too. You can run the Skeletal Cannoneer, Necro Lily combo, which is also pretty good at controlling your opponent's field. Then some people might debate. It was like, oh, why isn't Kagero topping? And that's because Kagero, although it does have very powerful control, it lacks other things, like having multiple rearguard attacks and toolboxing options and whatnot. And they can't really build hand as easily as these decks can, so that's why Kagero is not topping, in my opinion. Of course, some Kagero decks have topped, but again, they don't top as consistently as these decks. And Luard, I guess Luard kind of breaks the mold from these two decks, but not really. So Luard is another deck with a very powerful toolbox with Luard. Mainly you're toolboxing your grade 1s, but if you can just thin out your deck of your grade 1s, then you can just eventually get your 2 grade 2s pretty easily. And even then, you can recycle your crit trigger and whatnot with the Owl. Bilal Owl, I think his name is. So yeah, it's good. This card is freaking expensive, so there's a reason why. It's a great card. So that's that. So mainly Luard combos really well with Diablo. So if you want to play Luard competitively, a lot of people are running it with Diablo stuff. Not necessarily Blaster Dark Diablo, but you're definitely going to run the grade 1 and 2 pair that helps you soul charge. I'm currently not running that build, but I probably will change it later on if I feel like it. More about this stuff on the end at the end, but yeah. So obviously, very powerful toolbox, and it's also got, if you're running it with Diablo stuff, you obviously have access to Phantom Blaster Diablo, which is pretty strong, and also kind of counters Night Rose. But of course, if you're playing against a Night Rose that knows what it's doing, he's probably not going to let you. He's probably not going to make the mistake of leaving his field empty so that you can Diablo him. But yeah, so not much else to say about that. It's very good at compressing your deck so that you hit into triggers more often with, by getting a lot of your great ones out of the deck. Pretty good at toolboxing, pretty good at recycling, pretty good at drawing because you have Heartbreaker, not Heartbreakers. What's that card? Swordbreaker, yes. Her name is Swordbreaker. So you have access to Swordbreaker and whatnot. And the main problem it had before was that it couldn't build up soul, but with the Diablo stuff, that's not really as big of a problem. So that sort of makes Luard more consistent. And yeah, so overall, pretty strong decks. And Luard has a lot of potential to grow because this deck only got supported for, I think, like 2 sets. So it's definitely going to see a lot more support. At least Ritual is going to see a lot more support. And so, pretty exciting stuff. Maybe later on, you won't even need to rely on the Diablo stuff. You have other stuff to help you counter charge. Not counter charge, soul charge. So, yeah. I guess the thing they're lacking is the control aspect that these 2 other decks have. But even then, I guess you sort of have this that's sort of control, I guess. This thing also helps too. So yeah. I mean, but this card, it doesn't give you fully control your opponent's field because your opponent chooses. But anyway, at least this is all observations from the Japanese and Hong Kong meta. Actually, in Hong Kong, even these 2 are the main decks that people play. Grand Blue is seen less play. I'm guessing it's just not popular amongst people in my area, but it's pretty popular in Japan, and even in Hong Kong, you'll see pretty much almost no 7Cs players. So that's quite a good thing for me, I guess. So anyway, if you guys didn't know, I am actually not playing competitively anymore. I'm probably gonna make a video about that later on its own. It's just kind of things about the competitive environment in Hong Kong and my own personal schedules and stuff that conflict with me playing competitively. But I do know a lot of people who still play competitively, and I play with people who play competitively but just not in a competition. So I'll still be able to play against those cancerous decks. So good times. Not so much. Not I'm playing against those decks a lot unless I want to try to see what's up. But most of the time, if I'm playtesting decks and stuff, usually my friends will be very nice to me and play with other decks that they are also playtesting. So we'll have kind of an even ground. A lot of times when I'm going to like play with randoms, I play with randoms and stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna play test some decks, and then he just whips out a Link Joker deck. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. I can play test to my heart's content. That was sarcasm if you guys didn't get it. But anyway, before I wrap up, I just want to say, I've been pretty busy lately because, again, you guys didn't know, school it's almost ending for me. This is my last year, my last semester actually, so I'm just doing my final year projects and whatnot. So I've been very busy with that, and that's why you'll see a lack of uploads. Also, you might see me posting some Pokemon content, and that's because Pokemon content is... I'm not even making that much Pokemon content, I'm just doing unboxings and stuff, but probably gonna play that game a little bit more now, because I don't know, a lot of my other friends are playing that game now, and a lot of my friends that don't play Vanguard are playing Pokemon now, so you know, I'm just gonna play some Pokemon with them. But I still have like another group of friends that still play Vanguard, so I'll still be playing Vanguard. I'm not quitting Vanguard, don't worry. And yeah, it's just been very busy, so I don't really have time to playtest anything. I'm probably gonna upload a Silverthorn deck profile next, but I playtested with that deck like twice, so it's definitely gonna change if I playtest it with it more. But from the 2 games I played with it, it's been aight, I guess. I've had some pretty bad luck with my draws and triggers, but the flow of the deck has been quite alright for me. But yeah, I'll put that out probably maybe on Sunday or Monday. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know. Probably tomorrow, I guess, after I finish coming back from stuff. But yeah, I've been very busy with just real life stuff, so not much time to make content. I apologize for that. Yeah, even I had some projects that I had planned to do that I decided not to do, to hold off for now, because I've just been so swamped with homework and my new job. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, I guess. Not much else to say. This is Karaku, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!